What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. So I know it's been a minute since we dropped a video, but I had a crazy work week this past week, and I also had a lot of medical stuff to take care of, so that took up a little bit of my time. But today I want to focus in on the CEO change that Funko is in the process of going through, as in case you guys didn't hear, Funko did announce a new CEO about a week ago, and MSN actually did a nice little article here that we're going to run through very quickly. I'm not going to read the article to you guys, but I want to highlight some key points on why I actually think this new CEO selection by the name of Josh Simon is actually a really good choice and could really benefit the direction that we hope Funko will go into as a company. So this article states Funko named Netflix vet as the new CEO a week ago after pop culture collectibles maker reported a $41 million loss in the second quarter of 2025. So a lot of people have been focusing in on that $41 million loss. This article does go into detail, and Funko addresses that $41 million loss, and citing that the tariff situation was the main factor that contributed to that massive loss. Still a loss, unfortunately, that Funko is going to have to figure out. Now, Josh Simon is coming from Netflix, and he was actually the, what was his title? He was the Vice President for Consumer Products for 5 years over at Netflix prior to coming over to Funko. And one of the key things he actually did at Netflix, which I really like, and it really, bolsters his resume here in dealing with everything that he's going to be doing in terms of what Funko has to offer, is that he actually launched Netflix's first e-commerce platform for consumer products and managed relationships with retailers including Walmart, Target, and others. Walmart and Target right off the bat should ring a very clear bell with us Funko collectors, because Walmart and Target have had numerous Funko exclusives throughout the years, and they've actually struggled to put out secondary retailer exclusives in 2025 and 2024, and we've noticed those relationships deteriorate a little bit. If you go into a Walmart in your area, you'll likely see that the Funko section is much smaller than it used to be in years past, or just not at all. The Walmart that's closest to us, they don't even carry Funko Pops anymore. So these two factors right here that Simon has, launching a platform for consumer products, i.e. he's going to be dealing with a lot of stuff in regards to Funko.com, and managing relationships with retailers, I think are two really important skills that he's bringing to the table, which is awesome. Another thing that I wanted to highlight here is Charles Denson, the chairman of the board at Funko, said Josh is an exceptional leader and his extensive experience in entertainment and consumer products is exactly what Funko needs in its next CEO. Now, Josh Simon worked on a lot of big things with Netflix, one of the biggest ones being Stranger Things, and some of these events that Netflix has done are really events that could translate into a fun days style event structure that Funko could start doing surrounding big launches for product in conjunction with big movies and TV shows having premieres of their own. If Funko could somehow work together and create a presence with some of these big pop culture moments that get a lot of exposure in social media, I think it could be a big hit for them. Now, this change of leadership is a little bit disappointing because if you guys recall, Funko just got a new CEO last year with Cynthia Williams in May of 2024. She was unfortunately fired last month, and then there was an interim CEO for a little bit here, and now we have Josh Simon coming on board. And ultimately, I've really enjoyed the direction that Funko has been going into. We've been seeing a lot of things that we've been asking for many years now. One of the biggest things is more limited pieces, and we are seeing more limited pieces on the Funko Shop. We're seeing more secondary retailer limited pieces through Box Lunch and Hot Topic and Toy Temple, and they're selling out left and right. So clearly the community is really enjoying the limited pieces that Funko is putting out. So that is a huge positive for what they have right now. Now, unfortunately, this article also cites that to date here in 2025, Funko is at a $61 million net loss. And once again, that's something that they're going to have to figure out and turn this around. And now they're expecting some better sales in Q3 and Q4 here of this year to help, nullify some of that millions of dollars in loss of revenue, but they're going to have to figure that out, and Josh Simon is going to have to get to work very quickly. Now, in terms of the new CEO, from what you've heard so far, definitely let me know your thoughts down in the comments section below. I do think it is a bummer that Cynthia Williams had to leave Funko because another big thing that she was doing, which I heard a lot of people say they really liked, is she was communicating directly with the community. She was present at Fun Days this past June, and she was talking to people and interacting with collectors all throughout the lines and during the event. And I think that is just awesome. And if a CEO has a presence from a company and can, communicate directly with its consumers, I think that is just unbelievably awesome, and something that I hope Josh Simon does over the next few years or however long he ends up being at Funko. Now, one of the things I thought would be cool is this past week, I actually asked you guys in the community your thoughts on the new CEO situation and what changes you wanted to see moving forward with Funko. So I actually have those responses right here, and I thought it'd be fun to run through a few of them. There's definitely a reoccurring theme with a lot of them. So first one came in from Ace. Ace said, revert the sticker change, make more mystery box Funkos like the San Diego Comic-Con Huckleberry Hounds. I agree with you 100%. I think a lot of people, speaking of secondary retailers, we're not really big fans of the Target, Walmart, Box Lunch, Hot Topic stickers going away and having that very generic sticker on the box. Also, yes, I agree 100%. If we have more pop drops with the chance at a lower piece count, like the Mystery Huckleberry Hounds, 100%. I am on board. I will buy all of them. Next up, from the Pop Analyst, he said, bring back sodas and watch more Slapshot content for feedback and ideas. Man, a lot of people said they wanted sodas to come back, and we technically have gotten them back thanks to the Box of Fun and the Freddies and Frannies and really cool Proto the Dog sodas, but would definitely like to see more, and I would love to see sodas come back with chases. So the next comment is, believe it or not, coming in from Top Pop. So shout out to Tristan. He responded, he said, a new collectible that isn't Pops, which actually blew my mind when I saw this come in. So we have seen Funko in the past try some different stuff that worked, like We All Love Sodas. We've also seen them try some stuff like Popsies that didn't necessarily catch on. So I hope to see some new products in the future. I think one avenue they definitely need to explore, regardless of whatever they do, is they need to find something that has blind packaging. It seems like there is another boom that is occurring, and people want something where you can open it and find a chase or find a rare item or find a more limited piece item. So yeah, maybe they can definitely look into something along those lines in the future moving into 2026. Next up, the next response came from Stray and Wolf. They said, please cut back on anime pops. And I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, unfortunately, because the anime community is very strong. They love their Funko Pops, and we're still seeing anime characters sell out left and right. So unfortunately, I don't think we're going to see anime cut back anytime soon. Freddy Funko 1 would like to see the old logos on the new QR stickers, which I actually think is a really nice combination compromise. If we could get the retailer stickers on the QR code logos, that would be fantastic, because the QR code logos on the stickers are actually to help prevent fake pops, which I think is a fantastic move by Funko. So if they could just tweak the sticker just a little bit, I think everybody would be happy. The next response came from Nathan Cataliano. They said, listening to feedback from fans and updates to box stickers. So once again, we got the sticker issue. Listening to feedback from fans, I think, is incredibly important. And if Funko wants to succeed for the next 10, 20, 30, 40 years, heck, if any company wants to succeed, you gotta listen to your fan base. You gotta listen to your consumers, because they're the ones giving you money and paying for your products and keeping the lights on. So if you keep them happy, you will stay in business and hopefully continue to be profitable. So as I'm going through all these responses, I would love to hear your feedback again in the comments section below. So let me know what changes you want to see from Funko moving forward with this new CEO. The next response came from Tallyhog Pops. They said, bring back sodas with super chases and get NFT drops back on track. Now, I disagree with getting NFT drops back on track, unless you're saying that we need more NFT drops. I've definitely heard that from a lot of people here in the community, but the last NFT drop that we just had sold out. So the NFTs are still doing very well. As far as bringing back sodas with super chases, like having multiple layers of chases, within one figure line, would be incredible. If you could open up a can and pull like a 96 chase variant, a 48 piece chase variant, a 24 piece chase variant, man, that would get everybody ripping open sodas all over the place. So that would be very exciting. Hunter James says, change the way chase pops are structured, where not all are 1 in 6 for a chase. So it's funny that you mentioned this, because back in the day, in the early days of pops, Funko had chases as 1 in 36 variants. So I definitely agree with you, Hunter. I think spicing things up, maybe doing like a 1 out of 12 chase, a 1 out of 18. I don't know if they could go 1 out of 36. I think that would make the chases just a little bit too hard to get, and then people would be very upset, especially if they're spending a lot of money playing chase roulette with pops. People could get frustrated, but then again, then those chases would be worth a lot on the aftermarket, so it's kind of like a catch-22. But I definitely think having a few pops here and there, more rare than 1 in 6, is a great idea. Boston Pop says, continue to pull back how much of something is being made / new characters overall. Definitely have to agree with you on that, because there is a lot of stuff being made, and sometimes it can feel a little bit overwhelming, because if a company is just putting out so much stuff, it's hard to keep up, and then you might miss something that you actually like or collect because there's just so much coming out. And now this is not just a Funko problem. This is a problem that we're seeing across a lot of different collectible companies right now. And unfortunately, I think just because Funko is the biggest company with all the IPs and the licenses, like they have the most licenses out of any company in the world, they are contractually obligated to put out all these different lines and characters. So I think they're going to have to continue to put out a lot of different products so they can satisfy and hold up their end of the agreements with those contractual obligations through the licenses. Cincy Goon 23 says, bring sodas back, 5,000 pieces max, and they all have chases, maybe even 2 like Otto. I would love to see that. If all sodas came back at 5,000 pieces or less with multiple chases, that would be insane. The next comment came from this is coming from NJ Pop Culture. They said, turn the limited pops into a lottery so it gives everyone a fair shot. And I have to agree with you on this as well. As we've seen from all of the limited piece pops, they've all sold out on the Funko Shop and at the other secondary retailers. Definitely seems like maybe some people have an unfair advantage, and it also seems like a lot of people who are getting these pops are immediately selling them, which would indicate that they are not the people that are collecting them or wanting to hold them long term. So maybe Funko should look into a lottery system similar to what we've seen in the years past with EQL. Next comment came from Cordbread Lehigh. They said, adding more IPs. So this is an interesting comment. They want more IPs, sports Funkos at Fanatic Fest or STCC, and they want limited count sports pops. And I've actually heard this a lot from people across the community over the last few months. A lot of people have brought up that Funko does not release any sports pops in connection with big events like San Diego Comic-Con, New York Comic-Con, and that was something that I really didn't notice before, but it's 100% accurate. I know with me being a huge hockey fan, I want to see more hockey pops. I would love to see a limited piece hockey pop drop here and there. So, hey, you know what? Maybe there is a huge demand for more sports Funko Pops, and hopefully Funko can look into that. Obviously, there's a huge demand for WWE. People are always asking us for WWE, so maybe some more sports in general would just be awesome. Darren's Funko Pop Adventures says, less anime and more stuff that's for a broad group of people. And now, these are, everybody who responded to this on Instagram or people that follow us, we are not anime collectors, so definitely see a trend of people wanting to see less anime, but once again, Funko does sell a lot of anime stuff, and it probably contributes to paying a lot of their bills, so they're probably going to keep up with the anime, although I do agree that, if they release more stuff for a much broader group of people, that will definitely generate more sales. Darth Ryan D said, focus on quality over quantity. Too many defects and bad paint jobs lately. And although I have not had a specific issue with a defect or an error for a pop that we've picked up recently, I have heard of other people having this problem, and that's just going to come with a company just putting out so much stuff. Their quality control is going to go down a little bit, and they're unable to fix some issues that might arise just because they're pumping out stuff so fast. Shanker 29.0, next comment here, open Funko.com to the rest of the world and allow other countries like South Africa to purchase from there. And this is another great comment, because there are countries that don't have access to the items that we have here in the United States. And there are people that collect all over the world and love Funko. So it was a big deal last year when Funko started shipping to Canada, although there are certain things that even Canadians don't have access to, like the rewards points, like the limited piece drops. So I definitely think that if Funko is going to continue promoting themselves as a worldwide company, they should definitely try to figure out the logistics behind getting their product to more collectors who are outside of the United States. So great comment there. The next comment is coming from, oh, Teslam dropped a lot of comments here. So let me see. Let me focus on one here. Okay, so out of the 10 comments that Teslam dropped, which I really do appreciate, Teslam, so thank you so much for all your input. The one I like the most is you said events and experiences that can cater to a large population to bring more collectors in. And I 1000% agree. A lot of people get really upset every single year with the Fun Days event that happens in California because it's so hard to get tickets to the event. They always sell out. The tickets are usually 4 to 10 times face value on the secondary market, and a lot of people want to interact with Funko directly as a company at an event like Fun Days. So yeah, 100% would love to see more Funko events. Next one is coming from F. Cameron. They said, I would like him to bring the previous store exclusive stickers back. That's been another reoccurring theme here. The guy Felipe says, taking the company completely away from a toy business. It's a collectible, not a toy. And I do agree with this. I think there is a happy middle where Funko can exist as a toy company and a collectible company. When I think of their collectibles, I think of Funko Pops. When I think of their toys, I think of biddies. And I think they can satisfy both areas of the marketplace where there is demand for both of these types of products, especially with the biddies kind of targeting a younger audience, whereas Funko Pops traditionally target an audience 18 to 65 and up. There's a lot of adults who really enjoy collecting Funko Pops. So I think there is a happy middle that they could get to. They just have to figure out how to get it. And I would even say maybe even lean a little bit more towards being a collectible company, like 75 collectible, 25% toy company. The next one is coming from Lexi Collects. She says, reduce mass production and smaller lines like how it was back in the day. And I do agree with that. They have been pumping out a lot of certain characters in particular, and we're also seeing bigger waves, especially for big movie releases and big TV shows. Instead of there only being 3 pops in the line that just focus on the 2 or 3 main characters from the show, you're seeing lines with 20, 30, 40 pops, and once again, it's very hard to keep up with those lines and those new releases because it can be overwhelming. The last comment is coming from Collect Emporium. They said extra or bonus fan rewards points after certain amounts like tiers. And this is another very good idea with people spending money on the Funko shop, earning rewards points. If you want to go the extra mile, Funko, and reward the people who are giving you even more money and incentivizing them to spend, let's say, hey, if you spend $100 in 1 month, you'll get 20 extra points. If you spend $500 in 1 month, you'll get 50 extra points. Like just something like that where it incentivizes people. I think that is a brilliant strategy that will, give the people who are supporting you the most more bang for their buck, and in turn can then just use those points on more things from your website. So I really want to thank everybody who took the time out of their day to answer this response here and give me some great comments and great feedback. Overall, I am very excited for the new CEO. I think more events would be fantastic. I really hope the company continues going in the direction they're going with limited pieces and, bringing Funko back to being a collectible company. So we'll see what happens over the next year or so. Obviously there's going to be a curve here for Mr. Simon to get his feet wet with Funko, understand how the company works, learn all the different logistics and dynamics of the trade and how they produce pops and everything and all the other things that they make. So it's definitely going to be really cool to watch, and hopefully it just gets better and better for us collectors. But tonight we actually have a huge live stream happening right here on the channel, 9 p.m. Eastern. We've got some mega updates, massive announcements that you guys are not going to want to miss. Some of you guys have already been super generous and asking about what's going on with Toys for Tots this year, and you want to send over donations. We will be addressing that. We will also be talking about our 5-year anniversary Whatnot stream that's going to be happening in a few short weeks. Yeah, pretty crazy that we've been on Whatnot for 5 years already, which is just insane and mind-blowing. So thank you guys for all the support over there. We're also going to be talking about some Patreon updates. So if you're a patron of the channel, definitely make sure to come out tonight. Or if you guys can't be on the live tonight, make sure you catch the replay because we're going to be breaking down a lot of stuff for the end of 2025 and big plans that we have for this channel and our second channel, Slapshot Bricks, where we're all about Lego over there for the first half of 2026. So lots of big updates that you definitely don't want to miss right here, YouTube, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's going to be insane, and I hope to see as many of you guys there as possible because we've been working on something for a very long time, so it's very exciting to finally share the great news with you guys. But that's going to do it. If you enjoyed the video, smash that like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel. We would love to have you join our Slapshot Pops family. And as always, don't stop shooting until you score.